Hey everybody, welcome to a van life FAQs video. We have been in Banff, so that's why we haven't posted a video in a while. We have limited data up here. That is one of the things. If you're from the States and you go to Canada, if you have pretty much any cell carrier, I'm pretty sure in the US, they limit your data. We have Verizon, and so we only get half a gigabyte a day, and it's typically pretty slow. And when you're here in Banff, a lot of it doesn't even have service anyway. So we are here at the Icefields Parkway. It is seriously gorgeous here.
Not a bad view. So we are excited today. We're going to be bringing you van life FAQs. Sarah used a new feature on Instagram last week to have you guys ask us some questions, and based on those questions, we're going to give you some answers.
So let's get started. Do we ever feel like we need alone time? If so, how do you handle it? Great question, Melanie.
Yeah, you go on a walk.
We really like being with each other. That is like number one key to living van life. If you're going to do it with a partner, make sure you really like the person for sure.
If not, you're going to find out real quick.
You're in close quarters. So we already spent a lot of time pre-van life together. We had a business together. We worked from home together. So we already knew that we were okay with being with each other like 24/7.
Yeah, a lot of times like we go to the gym, we talk about that as well on our channels, and when you're at the gym, you've got headphones in, you're kind of doing your own thing, so it's not like, I don't know, that's kind of some alone time for us as well. Like we read, we can go on, walks solo. I can take the dogs on a walk, so if you want time alone, you can definitely find that time. And if you do feel like you need time alone, then you have to budget for it for sure.
Yeah. Also, sometimes you just don't talk to each other. Even though we're in the same space, we don't always talk. So
that's true.
How do you find using a combined toilet shower? Is it super slippery in there after, or do you dry it out in between? When we shower, we have the toilet closed so no water gets into the toilet, and we make sure we're not spraying on it. That is why our toilet is kind of under the nozzle. We actually take that hand sprayer off, use that, and
it can get wet. The only thing that's going to happen is you're just going to have to dry off more when you're done.
And we dry it off with just like a tech towel after we're done.
We bought like a pack of 20 little microfiber towels from Walmart or Meijer or Kroger or some store like that, and they're awesome. So after we shower, typically I'm the last one to go. Then I just wipe down all the tile, wipe down the shower pan, wipe down the toilet and the seat. We're good to go.
Yeah.
Is it hard to live in a van with dogs? Wow, we get so many questions about the dogs. We were actually talking about this with another van life couple as the tourist walks behind us, that we feel like we probably get a lot of those questions because the documentary on Netflix, Expedition Happiness, where they have all sorts of issues with their dogs. Their dog was a mountain dog with a ton of fur. We have two small Italian greyhounds that love to be warm. Nugget is up in the front sunbathing as we speak. But it's not hard to live with dogs. Just like any sort of situation where you're living with a dog, you have to take care of the dogs. You have to walk them. You have to make sure that they always have food and water. And if you're leaving the van, you got to make sure there's a fan blowing on them and that it's going to be nice and cool in the van for them.
And if it's hot outside, you just know you have to take the dogs with you wherever you go, or that, you have to have some kind of ventilation or air conditioner or something for your animals. And if we ever feel like it's kind of hot out, we never leave the dogs in the van that long by themselves. We're always checking on them, again, making sure they have food and water. But we're pretty lucky because our dogs love to be really hot. Because they don't have a lot of fur, they're constantly under blankets, sunbathing, like all sorts of stuff. So they love to be warm. But we still take precautions to make sure that our dogs are going to be comfy and cozy in here. And one of those is crate training them, and I know a lot of people have this misconception that it's cruel or it's really mean to do that to an animal, but we train them that way. So they've been doing it since they were puppies. They've always been in a crate, and they actually get really bad separation anxiety if we don't crate them. And not only that, then you have a dog running around loose in your van, which could jump up in the front. Somebody could see it, think, oh no,
hero syndrome, gotta bash your windshield in and
gotta get that dog, right? So we crate our dogs because our dog Bambi loves to bark, and she would be in the front seat barking at everything.
Yeah, she'd want to protect the house, and somebody would take it the wrong way.
Yeah.
All right, what's next?
What type of remote work allows you to do this? A lot of you ask this. So a lot of you always ask, what do we do for work? There's a link below where we have a free web class. You can learn about what we do. basically, to sum it up real quickly, we teach people how to leverage social media and affiliate marketing to make a full-time living through the internet. So we are big on being a creator, not just consuming. We're really glad that you're here watching this YouTube video right now, but we are big on teaching people how to do stuff like this, starting to leverage their own platforms so they can make money and travel and really live the life that you want.
For sure, because there's not a lot of jobs that you're going to find that allow you to work super remotely. And a lot of times some places that we are don't really have the best service. Yeah. So if you are looking to make that transition, you got to kind of work for yourself. Some freelancing can really help some people make that transition, but we got tired of working with clients, so we don't do a lot of freelancing anymore.
Yeah.
All right, plans to have kids, van ready for them just in case. Well, that's awfully personal. I don't know how I feel about that. Who asked that? Mario Trips. Yeah, we're probably gonna have some kitties in the future. The baby will be too cute, so we can't deny humanity that.
Yeah, we'll make some really cute babies.
It's true.
We are gonna have kids probably in the next couple of years, not anytime soon, but yes, we could make this van kid friendly if we wanted to. With that said, we've both agreed that we will not live in a van once I am pregnant. It just doesn't sound like fun.
Nope.
We will always have a van and travel around in it, but we will not be living in the van full time once we have children.
This is our child right now, one of them.
But we did allow, that was one of the things we changed on this build, was making the kitchen section shorter so that we can eventually put a seat right at the sliding door for our future kid that we go on like weekend or week-long adventures, not full time.
For sure. I know another trip, somebody asked if we ever plan on doing van life in Europe. I'm really interested in what the cost would be to ship our van to Europe or Australia or New Zealand. Or even just traveling, flying there and renting a van. So we are really interested. If any of you have connects or information, drop them in the comments down below, because I would love to do that.
Next question is, what's your best strategy for finding somewhere to park to sleep at night? Before we jump into this, we just want to say there's like an unwritten rule of van life that you never really talk about where you sleep, right? You don't want to ruin it for other people that are coming up in van life, right?
Yeah.
We don't want to ruin really good spots if that's a good spot to sleep.
Yeah,
now, with that said, if you go somewhere like where we are right now, there is no way you would be able to park here and sleep at night. Just never in a million years.
No way.
You would never, like, if it is too good to be true, then it's too good to be true.
Yeah.
If it says no overnight camping, don't break the rules and camp there anyway.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna get the cop or somebody knocking on your door in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
We did that in the beginning of van life because we didn't know, but we learned very quickly within
After
the first
like one time, we learned
first
real
couple
fast.
of weeks. You just don't even chance it. And there are rest areas, there are truck stops. Those are great to sleep at. You got
Yeah.
other people that are on the road, they're sleeping too. So
Yeah. Those are the legal, easy places to go to. I do want to say, like, it really grinds my gears when you see van lifers talk about staying in a campground but not paying for camping. I would never ever do that. We do get campsites sometimes. Campsites are a great way to live in your van, be beautiful places, even meet other people. So that is like the first option, is get a campsite, get an RV spot. Where we are right now, that's like basically impossible. We were up in Jasper last night and we could not find a spot, a campsite or an RV park that we could even get a spot in. It's totally illegal in Jasper to sleep in your vehicle on the side of the street. That's basically how it is most places. So
Yeah.
a part of van life is understanding you're living illegally a lot of the time and being okay with that. So typically what that means is you find a spot, you scope it out earlier in the day, and you get ready for bed somewhere else in a public parking lot where you're allowed to be and hang out. And then before you go to bed, you go park there and you go to bed. You don't make a lot of ruckus. You're not cooking food. You're not washing dishes. You're not brushing your teeth.
you're not getting out of your van, like you're very stealth about it.
Bed
And
is made. You roll up. You go to bed. If you don't make your dinette into a bed, are the bench seats big enough to sleep on? They
Yes.
are.
So-
You take this back cushion off, lay that on the floor, take a nice little nap. It's like
We've done
the
that
size
before.
of a single bed.
Yeah. Do you have enough space to save all of your clothes? I always see you as something different. I think she's talking about me. Let's be real. I have
She's
a lot of
talking about me.
a lot of you guys mention that on YouTube. You always want to know, where do I get my clothes? How do I have all this cute stuff? My 3 top places I shop are Target, a site called Tobi, TOBI.com, and Forever 21. Just throwing
These
that out
people
there.
right now are literally taking a picture of our license plate. They've been scoping us out for like 5 minutes. So
Why did she take a photo of her license?
I have no
That's
idea.
a little creepy.
But that's just what happened. So that was weird.
Did they realize that we're in here?
No idea. That happens a lot when we're parked somewhere. People
I'm
take
a little weirded out.
photos of our
Most people
van.
don't take photos of our license plate, though.
Yeah, that was strange. Now I gotta check and make sure the shot's still in frame.
Yeah, that was awkward. So, back to what we were talking about, which was clothing. We swap out our clothing sometimes. We have a full closet and a dresser, so we have a lot of clothing in here. And again, we swap that out, donate stuff when we buy something new. Because, yeah, you can only keep so much, right? But I have some staples, and at this point, the closet is about 75% my clothing and 25% yours. But guys don't have to hang up as much as girls.
That is true.
So
that is true.
I have a lot of dresses.
And she just has a
cute
lot more
stuff.
clothes, so
Yeah.
it's all good. I'm pretty much a gray t-shirt or black t-shirt.
He can wear the same thing every day.
Every day,
I don't
yeah.
think girls can get away with
Not
that.
a big deal.
So.
Oh, is the electrical the hardest part of the build?
Yes.
Yeah, it probably is.
Alex almost shocked me in the first van build because
I
he
didn't.
like did something
Anyway,
and it like shot a spark.
moving on. Yes, electrical is no joke. I highly recommend consulting an electrician or an electrical engineer for your build, or whoever you're buying your batteries from, or your solar controller, or your inverter, whatever it is. A lot of times reach out to their customer service, show them what you have as far as a wiring diagram goes, and they'll give you feedback and let you know if that's wrong. Now, if you don't actually make a wiring diagram, make one, because until you actually, same thing with plumbing, until you actually diagram the whole thing out and have every part that you need and how it's all going to fit together, you have no idea how your system is going to work. So we do have our wiring diagrams and our plumbing diagrams included in our van layout guide, which is linked down below to try and save you a lot of time on that process. This being our second build, I definitely learned a lot on our first build. We had a lot of major upgrades to our electrical system on this one. But yeah, it's definitely one of the harder parts.
Is it easy living as a minimalist? I would say yes, because experiences are way more valuable than things.
Yeah, and the van is our favorite way to live and travel because you have everything you need right here. You're not like hauling luggage into a hotel room or through an airport getting onto a flight.
And living out of a suitcase, that sucks. I hate that.
So we are huge fans of van life. Definitely it is minimal living, but it's like a really fun kind of minimal living.
Does most of your income come from your teaching and teaching materials? I'm assuming you're talking about Creator Academy. Yes, it does. And yes, we are monetized on YouTube and we do Amazon affiliates, but those two are kind of side revenues. Our number one income stream is Creator Academy and affiliate marketing, everything that we teach. And with that, the next question is, do you use paid strategy besides reaching people organically through social media? Yes, we do. We run ads on Instagram and Facebook. Maybe you've seen some, probably, because we pixelate people. It's pretty cool. It's a lot of what we teach in our program, and we teach people how to, again, leverage all these cool platforms to actually make a living online. And that also means paying for advertising. So
I mean, it's 2018. Here's the deal. If you are not using social media as a business, you are the product.
Yeah.
Straight up. If you're scrolling all day long, but you have never paid for an ad, you're the product. That's what Facebook is selling.
Yeah, it's true. So that's why we always talk about being a creator versus just being a consumer. Again, we are still consumers too. Like, everybody is part consumer, part creator. We're just trying to push people to be bigger creators and less of the consumers, right? So again, there's a link below if you want to learn more all about that. It is pretty cool and pretty fun. And the internet, like we always say, is not going anywhere. So the sooner you learn this stuff, the better off you're going to be. And even if you don't want to have a full-time living online, you still love your job, it's a great skill to have for any job moving forward into the future.
Yeah.
Because this stuff is just getting bigger and bigger.
Gotta diversify your bonds.
Do you miss anything from the old van?
Nope.
I don't think so. Not at all.
No. I mean, we love our old van, Jill. No, you're watching. I love you. No, you're rolling around in that, loving it. We never named either of our vans.
No,
by the
we
way.
still
We're a
haven't
little
named
weird.
ours.
We loved our first van. It was incredible. We did love all of the windows. Like, the views and the shots we could get with all of those was really, really cool. But we do really enjoy this van and just the number of windows that we do have in this one.
We love everything about this new van, so yeah. Best advice for a solo female with no carpentry experience on building out a van. Optimistically vegan. I would say hire help. If you feel like the cabinetry is too much to do, then instead of wasting your time, probably making 100 mistakes and really costing you more in the long run, not only your time, but with buying a bunch of materials that you keep messing up and you're having to rebuy stuff, I would just hire somebody.
Yeah.
It's worth the time. It's worth your money to hire somebody to help you with this kind of stuff.
But I mean, before you even get to hiring somebody, find somebody. Like, go through a few different carpenters or handymen or people like that.
Yeah, interview
ask
people.
your network. You know, look for other people who've done vans who are hiring out that help, because building a van is really different. So I would say, if someone else was asking, like, what's the number one piece of advice you would give? Where would you recommend a van life beginner to start? I would honestly recommend buying our van layout guide, because our first layout we drew of our van, we had no idea what we could actually fit in here.
Oh, just stupid.
What actual dimensions would be. So to get started, I would say look at vans and like professional layouts that you really like, to really give you an idea of the size of what you can fit in there, and then identify what your priorities are. So our priorities: dog crate, bathroom, shower, and a bathroom shower that had a door that closed on them.
Yeah.
And then a big bed. Because I realized that if Sarah loved everything else about van life, but if she wasn't sleeping well at night,
and if you weren't
van life
sleeping
is
because you're
over.
driving us pretty much everywhere.
That's true,
So
too.
you need good sleep too.
so that's why we sleep this way.
So
not this way.
yes, like, just don't be afraid to hire help and pay for some stuff. These vans aren't cheap. You also don't want to mess them up. And if you want to resell it, you want that resale value, then it's smart to invest and pay somebody to make sure it's a quality build.
For sure.
Somebody asked, how reliable do you think sprinters are? Do you think 150,000 miles is too much for a 2013? That is really high for 2013. Ours is a 2014. We bought it with about 40,000 miles on it. We are big on buying sprinter vans with low mileage, because then you know you're putting all this money into it. So then you know you're going to have a van that's going to last longer, and you have more mileage, that you're not going to run into so many issues up front. I think once you get past 100,000 on any vehicle, you just really need to maintain the service.
Yeah,
Make sure
that's
you're
another
doing-
thing. Look at your service records. If the person's been, if it's got 150,000 miles, but it's been a part of a fleet that's gone to a Mercedes dealership to have its, all of its service done regularly, I'd say that's pretty low risk. If you're buying it off somebody on Craigslist who has no service records for it, 150,000 miles, it's pretty sketch. I probably wouldn't do it, and then put money into convert it.
Well, and not only that, like I said, you're putting a lot of money into this, and that is one of the next questions, but we'll get into that in a second. But you're putting a lot of money into it, so I would just say spend more on a van that has less mileage and is maybe newer. That way you're getting a really long life out of these, because you put a lot of money into them. So, which we're going to end with this last one, because there's way more, and we could probably answer questions all day. And if you have more questions, you feel free to drop them below. But the next question is, how much did your conversion cost? And we're still going to tease you guys with the next video, because it's not coming yet, but we are filming it.
I will tell you, it's between $1,000 and $100,000.
So,
boom.
Make sure you subscribe. That will be our next video. We promise on that. And we will see you next time for that video. We're excited to finally spill the beans and share how much our conversion costs. And we're going to share it all. So, get excited.
All right, we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.